Hello, my dear friends. My dear friends, I am once again back with a beautiful lyric from John Milton. Just before this video, I uploaded a video on the life and works of John Milton. This video of mine is actually based on John Milton's first published poem on Shakespeare 1630, means 1630. The year John Milton composed this poem in 16 lines to be published or to be part as preface to William Shakespeare's second folio of plays that came into print in the year 1632, exactly after 9 years. Exactly after 9 years, because the first folio of Shakespeare's play was published in the year 1623. This very particular poem on Shakespeare 1630 is a sonnet, but it is not a proper sonnet. Why? Because generally a proper sonnet is a poem of 14 lines, but here, instead of using 14 lines, John Milton uses 16 lines. Since the poem runs in a one just a structure or a one unit of a stanza with a certain metrical pattern, or metrical foot used in the poem, and with a beautiful rhyme scheme, this poem gets the form and structure of a sonnet. So, before I start explaining you this very particular poem line by line, let's learn something about this poem once again. Like I told you, John Milton wrote this poem as a part of the preface to the second folio to William Shakespeare's plays, to express his love, affection, emotion, honor, and respect Milton had for William Shakespeare. Milton is here paying his tribute or paying homage to William Shakespeare through this beautiful poem. This poem of John Milton was composed by him in the year 1630. Remember that. John Milton wrote this poem in the year 1630. This was John Milton's first poem that got printed or that was published first. Remember that. Milton's first published poem. It means Milton's not first composed poems. It is possible that Milton began his poetic career just writing particularly works. I cannot say you this the poems, but Milton began his career writing things in Latin. But this poem of John Milton gets the credit of being published first, or being first poem, first composition from John Milton that was first published. So remember, Milton wrote this poem in the year 1630 as a preface to William Shakespeare's second folio of his plays, which saw the publication or met the publication in the year 1632, and in this way it became Milton's first published poem. These facts are very important from competition point of view, remember my dear friends. Now, next very important thing of this poem. This poem is a lyric. Lyric is a personal record of the feelings, emotion, thoughts of a poet. Here, this poem is a record of the emotion and feelings, personal emotion and feelings of the speaker of the poem about William Shakespeare. So this poem is a lyric. And this poem is actually, the form of this poem is sonnet. I told you generally sonnets are 14-line poems, but here Milton has made use of 16 lines. He has not used 14 lines, but since the entire poem is written in a one stanza with a proper rhyme scheme, it is a sonnet. Very, very important. Next, very important fact related to this poem. It is this poem. This poem is written in heroic couplet. Heroic, heroic, couplet, couplet. First of all, let's understand couplet. A poem of 2 lines rhyming together is a couplet. But if those 2 lines rhyming together are written in iambic pentameter, then it becomes couplet. So this poem is written in heroic couplets. It means iambic pentameter is used in each and every line of this poem. Means each and every line of this poem has 10 syllables. syllables, syllables. Syllables are small unit of word. Holding a vowel sound is called syllable. So each and every line of the poem has 10 syllables, and a pair of 2 syllables A pair of two syllables makes a foot or meter. So the poem is in pentameter. Penta means 5, meter I told you. A pair of two syllables that makes a foot or meter is foot or meter. That is pentameter. Penta means 5. So if 10 pairs are used, it means 5 means penta. Each and every line has 5 meters, means 10 syllables, means 5 feet. Because I told you, two syllables make a foot or meter. Now, iambic. Iambic comes from iambus, a metrical foot of two syllables in which the first one is long, means stressed, means accented, a metrical foot of two syllables in which the first syllable is unaccented, means short, unaccented, short or unstressed, whereas the second syllable is long or stretched or accented. That is called iambus metrical foot. Opposite to trochee. Trochee. Trochee is also a metrical foot. Trochee is also a metrical foot of two syllables, but in trochee, first one is accented, means stressed, means long, whereas the second one unaccented, unstressed, short. Again, try to understand. Iambic foot means two syllables, a pair of two syllables in which the first one is unaccented, means unstressed, means short, whereas the second one stressed, accented or long. Now trochee. Trochee is also a metrical foot of two syllables in which first one is accented or stressed or long, whereas the second one short, unaccented or unstressed. Hope iambic clear, iambic and just trochee clear. Penta means 5 clear. Meter, you know the meter or foot, a metrical foot of certain number of syllables. If iambic, a metrical foot of two syllables, a metrical just a foot yes of two syllables in iambic, in which first one is unaccented, unstressed or short, whereas the second one is long, accented or stressed. Trochee, a metrical foot of two syllables. First one is long, accented or stressed, whereas the second one short, unaccented or unstressed. So the poem is written in heroic couplet, means each and every line is in iambic pentameter. One line is rhymed with the second line. Like first line rhyme with the third line rhyme with the fourth, fifth with the sixth, seventh with the eighth, ninth with the 10th, 11th with 12th, 13th with 14th, 15th with 16th. Before I explain you, let's look and understand. Like, see, last word of the first line, bones. See, same sound, because same word here. The first line ends with bones, second line also ends with bones. So again, same sound. See that. So here a, then again a, because bones, same, a. Now see, hid, pyramid, again same sound. Then that these sound do not match with the sounds above. So a here, hid, pyramid, then again b. Now see, fame, name. See the same sound, and these sound do not match with the sound above. So here C. Now see, astonishment, art, then again similar sound, and these sound do not match with the any other sound above. So D. Now see, heart, hang on, sorry, yes, sorry, astonishment, monument. So here D. Now see, art, heart, and this sound does not match with any other above. So E. Now see, book, took, again this sound does not match with any other above. So F. And now see this, bereaving, conceiving, again this sound does not match with any other above. So then G. And now see this, last but not the least, last two lines, lie, die, H. So hope understood the rhyme scheme of the poem. What? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So how you have seen how beautifully just John Milton has made use of the rhyme scheme. First line rhymes with the second, third with the fourth, fifth with the sixth, seventh with the eighth, ninth with the 10th, 11th with the 12th, 13th with the 14th, 15th with the 16th. In this way, the poem is written in heroic couplet with the rhyme scheme A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now let's look at the pentameter. Penta means 5. Meter, I told you. Meter of foot is made of certain number of syllables, 2, 3, more than 4. It is iambic pentameter. In iambic, what happens? Iambic, I told you, iambic is a metrical foot of 2 syllables in which The first one is short, unaccented or unstressed, means the first syllable is not just uttered or spoken in a very loud, long manner, but in a short, quick manner, whereas the second syllable is spoken or uttered in a long, loud manner. So first of all, understand iambic. See this. First word has what is a one unit word. It is a single unit word. It means it has a one syllable. It has a one vowel sound. That is what. See, one unit word, one syllable, and second one is also needs. See how. What needs. First syllable is not stressed, is not uttered long, spoken long. When I utter means pronounce the sound of the first syllable or pronounce the first word, I do not drag the sound. I say what. I speak the word quickly. But second, needs long, stressed, accented. So first unstressed, yani short. Second, stressed, long, accented. Then again, my Shakespeare. Then for his honored. Then again, bones. So first unstressed, second stressed, then third again what? Unstressed, then stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed. If you find this kind of the pattern of the vowel sounds, iambic, and if you find the pattern of such 10 sounds, it means iambic pentameter. Hope clear. So the poem is written in iambic pentameter. Second thing, see, first line rhymes with the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, like so on and so forth. It means couplet. And in this way, heroic couplet. Because the lines are in iambic pentameter, one line rhymes with the second, third with the fourth, fifth with the sixth. So hope iambic clear, pentameter clear, couplet clear, heroic couplet. So the poem is written in iambic, the poet is written in heroic couplet. See, these facts are very, very important from competition point of view. Hope these points must have become absolutely clear to you. Now, let's look at this beautiful 16-lined poems. Let's understand. What needs my Shakespeare for his for his honored bones. So he says, what needs my Shakespeare for his honored bones? Honored bones, honored bones, mortal remains. The, the bones, the parts of the human body that we find, that we find there inside the pit, the body is buried after a long time. Like Hindus cremate their dead bodies, and after cremating means after burning the dead body, whatever remains, whatever is left, that is called mortal remains. So here honored bones, those bones found in found in that pit in which the body of Shakespeare was buried after death, after a long time. Honored bones. Honored bones not for a commoner, not for ordinary men, but here the bones, the mortal remains of William Shakespeare, honored, respected, held in high regard by John Milton. Here, these bones, the mortal remains of William Shakespeare, honored for John Milton. Remember that, not for one and all. Remaining bones of Shakespeare's body are honored, are subject of great honor and respect for John Milton. Remember that. Because somehow John Milton identifies himself with that great legendary bard of Avon. So he says, what needs my Shakespeare for his honored bones? He says, are the remaining bones or the leftover bones, are the leftover bones or were the leftover bones of William Shakespeare actually need to be hidden by being just constructed a kind of marble monuments? Did Shakespeare just need or require a kind of a monument to hide his mortal remains so that he could be remembered after his death by the coming generation? See the second line. The labor, hard work. Here labor stands for that hard work that goes into building a monument, that goes into shaping a stone statue in the memory of a certain person. He means to say that was it necessary for William Shakespeare to get his monument built or to get his marble statue or stone statue shaped in his memory, in his lifetime, that he could be remembered after his death? Just as the kings, queens, and so many rich people, so many powerful people of his own time actually did to be remembered after their death. Was it also necessary for William Shakespeare to do that? He says, did his William Shakespeare require? Did his William Shakespeare need a stone statue to be shaped, or just a marble monument to be raised or constructed in his memory? And lots of labor went into shaping that stone statue, into building that monument, that concrete structure. Did Shakespeare require this kind of a thing? He says, I think Shakespeare did not require. Actually, he says, I think my Shakespeare did not require that. Because my Shakespeare, the personality, the stature of my Shakespeare was so great, so gigantic, that he did not need such kind of a petty, such kind of a useless structure to be constructed, to be raised, to be remembered. And that structure that took a lot of time, lot of years to be raised or constructed. So he says his Shakespeare did not require that kind of construction, that kind of a monument, that kind of a marble statue or the stone statue to be remembered. Why? Because his mighty works were there. His great creation was there to act, to work as his monument. His readers were there. His admirers were there to remember William Shakespeare. And in this way, William Shakespeare did not or does not and will not require this kind of a petty, useless stone structure or concrete structure to be raised, to be remembered after his death. So he says, what labor of an age year long time in piled bones. Piled bones again, the piles of the bones that the body reduces after death, after a long period of time. When the body is buried in the ground, and it becomes, and many years actually roll by, then what happens? The body reduces to bag of bones. Only the bones are left. And here is talking about those pieces of bones. He says, did those pieces of bone, or did those bones of Shakespeare require a concrete structure to be built to hide them and to make William Shakespeare remember, or in order to make William Shakespeare alive? He says, no. My William Shakespeare, my great William Shakespeare, did not require in the past does not require today, will not require in the future. Because beyond all these small things, because so great, so mighty, his personality so colossal, he was so massive because of his works. Here he does not talk about William Shakespeare as a man made of flesh, blood, and bone, but he talks about that William Shakespeare, the greatest dramatist, the greatest sonneteer, the greatest literary giant, and that greatest literary giant, that greatest magician does not, will not require any concrete structure to be remembered in the coming generation. His mighty works, his creation itself is a monument for him. And as long as his works will live, William Shakespeare will live. So hope first two lines clear. Now let's see again the third line. Or that his hallowed relics, hallowed, sacred, sacred, holy, Holy, an object that has great honor and respect for someone, that object becomes holy, sacred, hallowed, like statues, images of our gods and goddesses are hallowed for us, are sacred for us, are holy for us. In the same manner, try and understand Shakespeare's bones were object of great honor, great honor and great respect, particularly for John Milton. Here John Milton is placing himself in this beautiful poem as a worshipper of William Shakespeare. His bones, not sacred, not hallowed for one and all, but for John Milton. So he says, or that his hallowed relics, something that reminds someone of something. Here relics stands for mortal remains. Those leftovers of the body of William Shakespeare, his bones of William Shakespeare after his death. So he says, or that his hallowed relics should be hid. So he says, is it necessary for William Shakespeare to hide his mortal remains, to hide his bones after his death, after or by being after the construction of the concrete structure? He says, is it good to construct or get a concrete structure constructed onto the mortal remains of William Shakespeare so that he could be remembered, or he may be remembered by the coming generation? Does it mean his Shakespeare, our Shakespeare, so small, so ordinary, so prosaic, that Without concrete structure or without monument, people will not remember him after his death. He says no. William Shakespeare is not the case of such kind thing. William Shakespeare is poet of poets, writer of writers, and dramatist of dramatists. So he says his Shakespeare does not require such petty things to be remembered. So he says, or that his hallowed relics, means his Shakespeare's hallowed means sacred relics, bones should be put under something, under a starry pointing pyramid. Starry pointing pyramid. That's so high, the pyramid, a kind of a structure raised or constructed or built in Greece in the memory of some renowned person after the death of that renowned person. He says his Shakespeare did not just actually require or need starry pointing, just a pyramid to be constructed so that Shakespeare could be remembered, because Shakespeare's mighty works were going to work as pyramid to help William Shakespeare be remembered after his death. So hope this fourth line is also clear. Now let's look at the fifth line. Dear son of memory, great heir of fame. He says, dear son of memory. Here he says, William Shakespeare is like the son of memory. Here, memory is compared or called the son, dear son. Means here memory is actually stands for the parents who nourish the son with this hope, with this just a feeling and desire that their son will keep them alive even after their death. He says, just as a son keeps alive the memory of his own father, does not allow his father to die even after the death of his own father. We hear people saying that, see, he is the son of that person who is no more. In the same manner, we readers will keep alive the memory of William Shakespeare. Or here memory stands for William Shakespeare's mighty work. Just as the sun does continue the legacy of his father, in the same manner, William Shakespeare's works will continue his legacy, will not let his readers forget William Shakespeare's name. Hope line clear. He says, dear son of memory, great heir of fame. The person who inherits our property is our heir. A son is the heir to his father. After the death of his father or sometime in the lifetime of his father, the son gets the property of his father. All the property of his father, all the property or all the properties are transferred in the name of the father, so transferred in the name of the son. So even after the death of his father, all right, the son carries forward the legacy, carries forward the name of his own father, and keeps alive his father. Same is the case with William Shakespeare's work. William Shakespeare's work do not allow his readers to forget William Shakespeare. His works will work as oxygen to give life to William Shakespeare even after his death. So William Shakespeare does not need concrete structures like monuments or stone statues, marble statues to be built or shaped to be remembered. Why? Because these are the subject of death and decay. One day a marble statue or stone statue or a monument will decay. And with that decay, people forget that man in whose memory that marble statue or stone statue or monument was built. It will not happen to Shakespeare. His works will not decay. His works will live as long as this world will live. So, William Shakespeare will live. And William Shakespeare will not be forgotten, means his name will not perish. So Shakespeare will not need monuments, a stone statue or marble statue or structures to be raised or built. His works will help him remember. His works will give him eternity. Hope this line is absolutely clear, my dear friends. Thou in our wonder and astonishment. He says, we are wonderstruck. We are astonished to look at your work, to go through your work. We are awestruck. We bit our tongue. We raised our eyebrows. We wide open our eyes when we read your work and feel your grandeur, feel your greatness, feel your magnitude, how great you were. We get to know through your work. And this realization makes us awestruck, surprises us, astonishes us. So as long as people will read, get astonished, and bewildered, people will automatically remember you. And so, you never need concrete structures to be built, to be remembered. So he says, thou in our wonder and astonishment has built. Has built means you have built. Has built means Shakespeare, thou has built. Thyself means yourself, a live-long monument. So he says that you yourself build a kind of a monument in our memory, in our wonder and astonishment. because of the greatness of your work, because of your mighty literary brain, because of your great talent and potential. So you don't need monuments to be built. For whilst to the shame of slow enduring art. But he says now he talks about the writers of the time of William Shakespeare, not equal to the stature, magnitude, greatness of William Shakespeare, that how they were endeavoring all the time to write, to compose, to create something great in comparison with the immortal, divine like work of Shakespeare. They were slow, they were struggling and felt very sorry and felt ashamed to look at their prosaic work, to look at their weakness, to look how small they were, how pygmy they were in size in comparison with that gigantic stature of William Shakespeare. So hope this line clear here. He talks about talk about the other writers not so great as William Shakespeare of his time, who was slow, felt ashamed, endeavoring, struggling all the time hard, art, their quality, their potential, not so great as William Shakespeare, trying their level best to create something great like Shakespeare, but always fell short and felt ashamed, felt very small. Hath from the leaves, pages of thy unvalued book. See, the value of the books, of the works of William Shakespeare could not be, cannot be, will not be estimated in its real sense, means so great, so excellent, so outstanding, the work of William Shakespeare. Those Delphic lines, Delphic, see, mysterious. Here, Delphing, here we have the allusion, indirect reference of Apollo, goddess of poetry. Just as the Apollo's work was divine, because Apollo, divine, Apollo was a deity, had such a great stature. So was, he says, so is the case with the work of William Shakespeare. So here William Shakespeare is a deity. William Shakespeare is God-like figure for John Milton. And his contemporaries, writers of the time of William Shakespeare, so pygmy, so dwarf, so small in comparison of Shakespeare. So here allusion is used in this line, deep impressions took, and how the mighty lines of the works of William Shakespeare have great impact on the readers. How it influences the reader, how the lines of Shakespeare influence the readers. just like the live creation of the god or goddesses. Then thou art fancy of itself bereaving, and in this way you become our fancy. We feel you inside us, and we bereave, we feel sad for you, we shed tears to remember you. And what we feel takes a shape of a monument, get a shape of a monument. And we ourselves means we readers, the readers of William Shakespeare of the coming generation, themselves become Shakespeare's monument. So why Shakespeare just need monuments to be built or constructed when his readers are his monuments? His readers have immense love for his works. His works are darling birds for his readers. So William Shakespeare did not need monuments to construct or to be constructed, to be remembered. Why? Because his readers are there all the time. Readers are today, readers were in the past, readers will be in the future, to keep alive William Shakespeare. So Shakespeare does not will not need monuments to be constructed, structures to be raised, statues to be shaped. Dost make us marvel with too much conceiving. So he says we become a kind of a marble statue, marble monument, concrete structure for you by conceiving, thinking, imagining about you a lot because of reading your work, because of going through your mighty lines. When we go through your mighty lines, we all the time remember you. We all the time imagine about you. And in this way, all we in ourselves build, construct, raise a kind of a marble monument of remembrance. And that statue of our memory is a statue of none other than your William Shakespeare. So dost make us marvel with too much conceiving, and so sepulchred, that you can say that grave or that pit or that tomb that is constructed or that is built at that place where somebody is buried. So he says that Shakespeare's just readers are that grave, that tomb where Shakespeare lies after his death and will always be remembered. Sepulchred in such pomp dost lie, that kings for such a tomb would wish to die. So will not a king feel jealous to see Shakespeare? To see Shakespeare remembered? To see Shakespeare remembered in this in this manner, in this fashion, in that fashion? Will not the king in the future wish to die the way Shakespeare died? What a great death William Shakespeare died, and what a great legacy William Shakespeare has left. And that legacy is being carried forward by his readers. His legacy, his work is carrying forward. And since his readers are going through that work, they are appreciating, they are extolling and eulogizing. And in this way, Shakespeare's readers, by eulogizing and by appreciating and by extolling, they themselves become the monument of that monument constructed or built in the memory of William Shakespeare. So hope, my dear friends, you must have understood this beautiful poem of John Milton. But before I stop and go, once again I would like to tell you, if you have not understood any particular line of the poem, do let me know. I will try my best to explain that line in the next video. Thank you, my dear friends.